courage and compassion to treat. And so when I have a friend or constituent that calls me and says, what can I do? I refer them to a doctor who treats them. And I have example after example of these things working, keeping people out of hospitals and certainly preventing death. I know it's anecdotal, but the evidence is mounting and it's getting to the point of being irrefutable. I think it is at the point of being irrefutable. So now let's compare this to the drugs of choice of Dr. Fauci and the COVID guys. Let's take a look at remdesivir. The studies were weak. They changed the endpoint of reducing death because it didn't to reducing days in the hospital. But they still rushed through the emergency use authorization, and it has been the treatment, because it's blessed by the COVID gods, that hospitals will apply. It's also dexamethasone, they will do other things. Corticosteroids. Pierre Corey testified before my committee in May of 2020 about corticosteroids. But remdesivir is the big one. Over $3,000 a dose when these cost $20 to $50 total. As part of a multi-drug, multivitamin, vitamin D, zinc. Remdesivir. 6,500 adverse events. I don't have it here. 1,612 deaths so far since it got emergency use. That's an average of 921 a year. That's remdesivir. Now let's look at the COVID vaccine. And this will shock you, it should shock you, because nobody's talking about it. And when a guy like me talks about it, I get censored, I get vilified, I get attacked. 927,740 total adverse events. Remember, one of the criticisms is VAERS dramatically understates the number of adverse events. Total deaths, 19,532. Now again, I realize VAERS doesn't prove causation, but almost 6,000 of these worldwide deaths occurred at day 0, 1, or 2 following vaccination. I know Fauci, I know Janet Woodcock, I know Francis Collins are not concerned about this. I'm concerned about this. Other people who have been able to avoid the censors and see this, they're concerned about it. They're making those tough choices. They also realize COVID can be a deadly disease. They have to make an informed decision whether or not to get vaccinated. Shouldn't they have all the information? But they're not being given all the information. It's about time they are. Now, Mr. President, let me conclude by just asking, for the audience really, why do I continue to push these truths, and they are truths? There's no misinformation up here. This is the truth. These aren't my numbers. This isn't my data. This is the CDC and the FDA's data. Why do I continue to talk about these things when I get attacked, when I get vilified, when I get ridiculed, when I get censored? It's pretty simple. It's because I've acknowledged the vaccine injury. I've held events to let them tell their stories. Like little Maggie DeGarry, 12 years old, now she's 13. She participated in the Pfizer trial. She's in a wheelchair. She can't eat. She has a feeding tube. Pfizer has ignored her, cast her aside. They're not paying for her medical bills. That's a scandal right then and there. Brianne Tresson participated in the AstraZeneca file. Paralyzed from the waist down. Fortunately, she's got her legs function back. But she's not whole. She's not cured. Ernest Ramirez. He lost his only son, his best friend. He's a single dad. I've given the vaccine injured, the survivors. I've given them a forum to tell their stories, and the media just shrugs. All they want is to be seen and heard and believed so they can be cured, or so they can prevent other people from experiencing their trauma. The real reason I continue to tell the truth, although I'm attacked, is because not only have I given these individuals a forum to tell their stories, but I've seen their tears. I've hugged the vaccine injured, the surviving spouses, the surviving parents, the surviving children. Why won't we acknowledge these truths? Why won't we acknowledge the vaccine injury? Until we do, until we acknowledge what the root cause of their illness might be, how is there any hope of healing?